Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So what do I have going on here? Well, this is the mud truck, and I did run it through the mud, and it got wet, of course. So before I take it out again, I really want to go through everything, make sure there's no water sitting anywhere, make sure that I get all the screws, everything coated with some WD-40. And I'm also spraying the bottom of the chassis, the shocks, with this Mousse Slick. This is a dry silicone protector, helps against exposed parts. I've been using these for a while. Stuff's lethal when you spray it, but it works well. And I've already gotten to work. I took apart the axle. I already pulled off the one side, put a good bit of grease in there, pulled off the diff cover just to check out, see how much grease I have left in here. Now this was a kit, SCX10ii Jeep Cherokee kit. I built this, so I know I packed a pretty good amount of grease in, but over time, just using it, everything else, it is definitely time to add more grease. I did clean this out a little bit, so there was a tiny bit more grease in, but I did it once over, cleaned it out, and I will pack it real nice and good with a fresh coat of grease. Not that the mud run was that great, but there was a tiny bit of mud or dirt inside the housing, so cleaned all that out and good to go. Alright, so I put some Cal RC grease in there, packed it really good with a bunch of grease. This might be overkill, but with the conditions I'm going to run in, I want to make sure that I have plenty in there. For today, I'm using the Cal RC Utter Butter. This is waterproof grease. I do have this grease from Shen RC. Definitely want to save this though. I have a build coming up, and I really don't want to run out of this stuff. Alright, so I worked that grease around a little bit, and I'm ready to put the cover back on. Alright, so the cover's back on, and I can get to work on this end over here. And really what I'm doing is just packing the ends full of grease. This way, it's a nice waterproof protectant. Got the bearing in there, everything else. I want to make sure that the bearing's not rusting out. And just trying to keep as much water out of the axle as possible. Also, while I was at it, I took off the transmission cover. Just wanted to make sure no water or anything got in there. The slipper pad feels dry. Everything looks good, so I'll put that back together when I get a second. So continuing on, I'm going to go ahead and grease up this side of the axle. Alright, so I got the shaft exposed. I got the bearing. Looking at the bearing, everything looks good. No real issues that I see. So I'm going to just go ahead and make sure there's no dirt, clean everything off, and then give it a good coating of grease. And with that, everything is greased up in the rear. So I'm in good shape there. I'm going to keep going over the rig, any spots that I find with rust. Spray with some WD-40, and I'll start taking apart the front just to make sure that I get enough grease in the front diff and in the axle just to prevent any problems. So I'm not sure if this is going to pick up on camera, but it's a good thing I'm taking apart the front. The shaft, front shaft, on the knuckle here, there is a little bit of rust, so it's a good thing. Go through, clean all that out, and then add a little grease to this, just to try to prevent any rust or any binding issues. Alright, so I cracked open the front diff, and everything seems to look good. I don't see any missing teeth or anything. Not that I expected anything to be wrong, but you never know. So, everything looks good. There's still some grease in there, but I'm going to clean that out, put a new fresh coat of grease in there, and we'll be good to go. Okay guys, so everything's back together, everything is greased up, everything has at least a coating of something, whether it be WD-40 or this Mousse Slick from Cal RC. And it could take a little bit of time to take everything apart and grease it all up and everything, but that's what you have to do if you want to run your rigs in the mud. Alright guys, so I'm going to just rip this around a little bit, just test it out, make sure everything is working real well. But if you like what you saw, please click that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day, and I will catch everybody soon.